Ayo, H here, back with another series of Civ 6 with an emphasis on how to beat your first Deity game. With the aim of keeping it simple, understandable, and most importantly, replicable. So whenever you rev up your game, you could take similar steps to accomplish a victory regardless of map or civilization you play. In this game I will be aiming for science victory, so let's start with why science instead of anything else. Domination victory is the easiest victory to understand. Just capture all capitals. However, means of achieving it is for the player to decide. It is the easiest victory condition to mess up on Deity, cause especially in the early game, if you make your push too late, enemies just one turn in the walls and surround themselves with crossbowmen, leading to stalemate. It is also one of the hardest victories to replicate and has a lot of nuance to it in terms of combat, loyalty, resources, economy, etc. Hence I will be staying away from it. For religious victory, first obstacle is the religion itself. In 8 civilization game there can be a total of 5 religions. So it is not even guaranteed that you will get one. And while I don't think religious victory is hard, it is annoying to manage units and I find it dreadful. This is a game and I already completed one religious victory, so let me have some fun as well, hey? Diplomatic and culture victories are more obfuscated. Since checking victory screen you get some numbers. Diplomatic victory requires 20 Diplo victory points, and while it has a decent description of how to make it, World Congresses are inconsistent and require some knowledge of what AI tend to vote for. So I don't think it's as easy to replicate. Meanwhile, culture victory is not even a culture victory, it is a tourism victory. Having high amount of culture or even completely exploring with civic tree is not going to win the game. There are useful cards and land improvements that can help you achieve that, but it is much more tied to wonders, appeal, great people, management of museums. I just listed a bunch of stuff, and it's not even half of it. So while it is my favorite win condition, there's nothing straightforward about it. Which leaves us with science. And I recommend science because in my opinion it is the most straightforward victory. You build campuses, you look for its upgrades, and as you progress through a technology tree, you unlock buildings and projects that lead towards it. What you see on the victory screen is exactly what you need to do, not an ambiguous number, not a number of civs controlled or converted by any means necessary, just the names of technology and projects to complete. All of it can be found in the tech tree, and that's why we are going to space. In terms of civilizations I picked Rome, because it is the most bare bones civilization in the game. Don't get me wrong, Rome is in no way weak, quite the opposite. But what makes it so good is its simplicity. Some civs are like Maya. They get free builder, no housing, and adjacency to campuses come from plantations. It is oversimplified, but even that changes how you play the game of this civilization. Meanwhile, Rome plays pretty much like any other civ in the game, making it replicable. It gives you a free monument, which translates to 2 culture per turn, with each city you build, allowing you to research governments and important unit discounts faster. And since you don't have to build it, you don't have to think about it. Another bonus of not building monuments as Rome is that you can invest that production to get more settlers. Sure, you can comfortably win with a small empire. Hell, people even did 1 city challenges, but as a rule of thumb, if you don't know intricacies of the game, you will be better off settling more rather than less. We also get free roads and extra gold per trade routes, which improves logistics and might allow us to settle 1 or 2 turns faster than without roads, making it another unseen benefit we don't need to think about. Unique improvement is bath, which is an aqueduct with an entity. Just like with aqueducts, it's useful for non-fresh water cities or setting up industrial zones, but it is not an essential building and we don't have to build them everywhere. And we also have unique unit in Legion which requires iron. It is a very strong unit that also acts like one charge builder, making it one of the best unique units in the game. And now that we have all the whys off, let's go over the settings of the game. Just like Rome, I will try to keep the settings as basic as possible. Deity difficulty, Pangea map, 8 players, and the rest I will leave as standard. Now I also have to make a disclaimer that I do use some quality of life mods in the game. None of them affect the progression of the game, just makes it easier to obtain information. Like Better Deals mod allows me to see which civ will pay most for my oranges without having to go through each individual civilization. As usual, I will leave a mod list in the description and let's finally jump into the game. And here we are, seems like a pretty good start for a science victory. We have a lot of mountains in the area, which means higher adjacency campuses. However, if you don't get this kind of start, don't worry, you can still make it work. I don't have much choice in this case to settle because all the tiles are the same, but generally I would be looking for plains hills tiles so that I would get extra production in my city center. I am not able to get such luxury here, so let's just settle in place. Naturally, for the first thing to do is to research myself a campus and start working towards that science victory from the get-go. In terms of my warrior, I would like to check where am I on the map. So I will place a pin and scroll up. Not that far away from the north. Seems like I am far away from the south. Yes. So I think I will start by scouting downwards by this river because I want to find myself the next location to settle, my second city. And I will open up with 2 scouts so that I would be able to cover more of a distance across my land, to find more goody huts, to meet more civilizations, and hopefully to boost myself writing by meeting another civilization, as well as discovering another continent for foreign trade boost. It's not particularly important, but if you can read what kind of boost you're able to get and what is reasonable for you, a little bit of a discount in terms of science or culture is always nice. And I have discovered Vilnius. I got an envoy in Vilnius, meaning that I'm the first one to discover it, and Vilnius wants me to send a trade route for another envoy. Now, what Vilnius does, it gives me 50% adjacency bonus towards my theater square districts for highest active alliance level. I have no idea what the highest alliance level is, even though I played this game for a long time, and I'm not gonna care about. Generally, if you're going like me for a science victory from the get-go, you are looking for blue city-states to provide you extra benefits on campuses. Meanwhile, Vilnius is providing culture bonuses to art museums, broadcast centers, and theater squares. I'm not gonna be building many of them, so I'm not gonna be looking forward to get a suzerainty. And I just boosted the foreign trade because we discovered another continent, so I do have a continent split. So my foreign trade card has been boosted and I will be able to research it in 9 turns in addition to my Code of Laws. It's very nice. Here is another city-state of Granada. Granada is militaristic city-state and I am the first one to meet her as well. Granada wants an archer, which will be very doable. However, suzerainties, it's, as I said, it's not something that you should concern yourself about. You can put envoys into any city-state. However, if you're going for science victory like me, you should be looking for blue city-states, if indeed they exist in the game, because RNG might dictate that there are none. This could be a city to settle, if I choose to do so. There is a 2-2 tile, making the city a little bit productive. Generally, I would stay away from working these kind of tiles where it's just food or occasionally one production. It's not a very good city. But if your city can work 2 production tiles, and in this case 2 production and 1 faith tile, if I choose to buy it away from Vilnius before it expands, it's gonna be a good city. It's a good foundation for a city, at least. Now, I scouted the bottom. I would like to make a wrap around in this area around my capital city to check if there are any barbarian camps around. Because barbarians in the early game can be really annoying, and generally the sooner you can discover them and take them out with a single warrior, the better it is for me.
At his best, man is...
Now we got ourselves our first government, discipline, pretty much no-brainer. 5 extra combat strength against barbarians, making it easier to deal with them. And for God King, if I would want to get a pantheon faster, so there is a pantheon called Goddess of the Sea, which is providing +1 production for each sea or ocean improvement in the city. So if you're playing a naval civ, it's pretty much no-brainer to go for the Goddess of the Sea, and in these cases it's important to plug in God King, because the faster you can improve those resources and get extra production from them, the better. But since I'm not in a hurry to get any kind of pantheon, I'll pretty much take what I can. I will plug in urban planning to get myself extra production in the city. I will keep exploring. Now I have also a scout, and I will go towards foreign trade because that will give me access to early empire. And I will get 50% production towards settlers, meaning that I can settle faster. This scout I'm gonna send eastwards, check what's around this continent, maybe extra goody goods, maybe another placement for my city. We'll see about that. I will have to have, if I want to place my cities as close to my capital, which I would like to do, because the less tiles a settler has to travel to settle, the faster the city is gonna come online and provide me with production and other bonuses. The faster it's gonna get its districts out and great people points and all the good jazz. So I prefer to settle cities as close as possible to my empire, to my main capital, because it makes it easier to defend and the city becomes productive way faster. However, the first cities to settle will still be near the fresh water. So there is a potential to maybe settle a city on the copper tile, because it's min distance from my another city to cover all of these tiles. And it seems like it's also a very good city, very attractive. Now, this city, if I settle on silk, is gonna improve this resource immediately and provide me with one culture extra in the city center. So I don't need to research plantations to actually get the silk if I settle on top of it. This one is gonna provide me with 2 extra gold per turn, which is also nice. These are amongst the best settling locations that I could even ask for. And I do have volcano in my empire that just exploded, which isn't bad. It's making the tiles more productive. Let's keep scouting with my scout. Here's another barbarian encampment. Now I should look to defeat this camp. And I got myself a free builder, but having a builder doesn't do anything for me, so I will put it to sleep. Because the matter of having a builder is not the builder itself, but its gap behind the technologies that I have researched. I cannot improve any camps or horses or pastures before I research animal husbandry, and I cannot place mines until I have mining on lockdown. So for now, the only thing that I can improve is a farm, but I don't have farm tiles, unless I want to improve some tiles around the volcano, but farms generally aren't that good of improvements, unless I am able to get to... where is it? Feudalism, which allows all the farms to get a bonus +1 food for each 2 farms around them. So if I would place, let's say, a farm triangle, each of these farms would get +1 food from each other. So it would pretty much secure the food income of the city. So farm triangles are generally something that I'm looking forward to do, but it's not something that I would worry about in the early game.
I thought Clay must feel happy.
We have granary, but we haven't met another civilization yet. I will hit the barbarian outpost once, and I will keep exploring. I see a little bit of desert around the area. Desert kind of sucks, but some deserts can be workable, especially if I could get my hands on Petra. However, settling this city with a wonder in mind is really not that smart of an idea. Because if you don't get that wonder, well, you just settled a bad city and you have nothing to do with it, right? I will heal this warrior, wait until it's full health to attack the barbarian outpost again. This is one of the most efficient ways to take out barbarian encampments with a single unit. And while I am not able to get my settler yet, I think I will invest extra turn into my slinger. And I'm working free food 1 production tile for some reason, but I think it's okay to grow. And I have found myself Nalanda, a blue city-state which provides me with science in every library, university, and research lab later on. Nalanda wants me to send a trade route, and if I click on Nalanda, it's relatively close to my empire. So I would like to get myself a relationship. Now, you could send this envoy straight away, however, I am not going to until I get myself Diplomatic League policy card, which allows the first envoy I send to each city-state to count as 2 envoys. Now, you don't have to min-max the game as I do. If it's too much to bother yourself trying to learn the city-states, don't bother. You're gonna learn it eventually anyway, because you're gonna be encountering the same city-states with each game you play. So at some point you're gonna be like, oh yeah, I remember that, maybe I should try and do something new in this gameplay. But it's mostly about forming habits and keep sticking to them. So I don't expect you to remember every single thing I say. And here is Gilgamesh. But it's more like at some point you will be aware of it still. So when you get comfortable with the game, or more comfortable with the game, you can start paying more attention to the details. However, if you don't, that's completely fine. You can still easily win the Deity game. So it's an honor to meet Gilgamesh, and Gilgamesh, this is something across all civilization difficulties, is that the first time you meet Gilgamesh, which boosted my writing, you can declare friendship with him and be friends forever. That's why he's called Gilgabro. That's 40 gold. And I will send my scout to scout this part of the empire, and I see immediately there is a position for a city. However, it's weird that these tiles are blocked, which indicates to me that there is a city somewhere here. A city or a city-state. So we'll have to see about that. Let's see what's in the north. And that's another culture city-state, okay. We'll send the scout. Another cultural city-state. Oh my god. Ayutthaya, I'm not the first one to meet her. And it gives 10% of culture when I'm finishing buildings. This is potentially a nice city-state to have. Especially because I'm not gonna be building theater squares to get culture. However, if I would be suzerain of Ayutthaya every time I build a campus, I would get percentage of it as culture. So it would be nice to pay attention to. However, as I said, this is not necessary to win the game. And we found Genghis Khan. He's not necessarily friendly. He is a little bit of a distance away from me, which is good because he likes to zerg people with cavalries. I will try to improve my relationship by sending him a delegation. And I will hit this barbarian encampment. Maybe I could take it away next turn. And I have met Caguana. I am the first one to meet Caguana, and Caguana wants me to recruit Great General. I'm not planning on building campuses, so I don't know how that's gonna go. Maybe at some point, but generally not gonna happen. And Caguana provides me with, assuming I get suzerainty of it, with a unique improvement that provides culture and tourism. I'm not gonna be concerned about that. And here is a cleared barbarian encampment. Very nice. I got myself extra gold. Let's keep scouting. No, I don't want a war. So let's check how my cities are looking so far. So I could settle a city here. That's the only tile on this side to settle it. And the non-freshwater tile I would have to settle on is on the silk, because I have to maintain 3 tile distance between all of my cities. Something like this, well, I could make this city work with a bath, provided with fresh water, so it's not a big deal. And there is even a city down here. I like to plan my empire a little bit, and if I need to, I can make adjustments, and I would like to see what's in this land to have more precise understanding of my surroundings. So yeah, I could have a city somewhere here as well on the incense style. And I could have a path leading to a mountain with a campus somewhere around here, a +4, very nice. But other than that, it would be somewhat of a desert city, and I do not see any flat desert tiles that I could reach. Maybe this one. But then again, I only would have 2 desert tiles in my empire, so Petra is not even worth considering. I got myself a slinger, so I can try to approach this barbarian outpost. Killing a unit with a slinger would boost my archery. So that's what I'm looking forward to get. And now it's time to start making settlers. I will promote my warrior with battle cries so I could heal him up and keep exploring the surrounding areas. Meanwhile, my scout can go ahead and start looking for more tribal villages. I see I'm entering the tundra, so maybe one of my scouts can explore the tundra better for the tribal villages, as AI either doesn't like to go to the tundra all that much, or they are getting killed by barbarians because AI is not making very smart decisions. Another volcano eruption. Oh man, it's gonna make these tiles pretty darn good. Another tribal village, that's what I'm talking about. Keep exploring. And this is like a quarter of a map. So, I'm on Pangaea, and if I see the ocean, it's unlikely that any AI is gonna settle it. So my priority of settlement is this ring, this outer ring. Because I have... Where is Gilgabro? Gilgabro is kind of far away between the city-states. So if I settle these lands, I will establish my borders with Uruk at some point here. And if I settle the eastern side, I will block Mongolia from approaching my lands. Kinda like, if the first cities I make here, I could settle this land anyway at any point, because there are no civilizations in the area. Meanwhile, these cities can be settled by Mongolian Empire, as we have access to it, kind of encroaching my border. So the cities on the bottom and cities near this desert are my priority. Let's get a tribal village. Experience, arguably the worst promotion I can get. And this scout I will set to auto-explore. Meanwhile, my warrior can go and check out Nalanda. I would like to check great people points, great scientists. There is one great scientist that I would like to get, which is Hypatia, that builds a free library and provides all of my libraries, built or soon to be built at some point in the game, with extra science. That's a 30% increase in my total science.
Writing is easy.
And here is campus. I will pre-place my campus near the mountains, but I really need to get these settlers as fast as possible. The faster I get my cities out, the faster those cities can produce buildings and builders, maybe, whatever. More production centers are always better, and I would like to get mining because I have a builder in the area, so I would like to start improving my land. Start beating this barbarian encampment. And I have another barbarian encampment here. Let's keep hitting. I have a promotion.
Under the White Cliffs battlemented crown.
And I found Cliffs of Dover. That could be potential settlement in the future. Oh no, you won't. Mongolia just stole my archery boost. But you're not gonna steal my camp. This is where I draw my line in the sand.
Look back over the past.
And I have researched 50% production bonus towards settlers, so my settlers can come out faster. And now I will straight up go towards political philosophy to unlock one of the 4 policy card governments. That's one of the most important thing in the early game. And my appointment is gonna be Pingala. Generally, the two governors where I am going forth and back with is Magnus for chops or Pingala for stats, because Pingala is providing culture and science. Let me check. Pingala gives 15% increase in science and culture generated by the city. Meanwhile, Magnus is providing 50% bonus towards chopping the yields from the city. So if I have a lot of forests, I can plug in Magnus and chop my districts. However, I don't have too many of them, so I would be better off with Pingala to straight up increase my science and my culture. Now, that barbarian encampment could be trouble, but I don't think my warrior can come fast enough. However, I do see a Mongolian warrior and a slinger coming towards my empire, so maybe I should be a little bit more cautious. I will retreat. And let's keep checking out what our land has to offer. The first settler is out. I would like to get myself that extra culture first. This scout, I will promote you with volley. You're not in a city center, so while you're roaming around, it's better to have extra combat strength. Doesn't seem that Mongolia wants to attack me yet, so maybe I can go ahead and try to get that barbarian camp. Oh no. Okay, fine, I didn't wanted that city anyway. Change of plans.
Who deserves more credit than the one?
The next technology to research, I will go for animal husbandry to see if I have any horses anywhere. And my scouts are gonna get beaten. Let's keep going towards the city center. And I do have access to mining. Let's start improving my land a little bit. And I think I can beat the slinger with my scout. Well, I can't beat two of these guys, so let's come and promote for faster movement on a hill terrain, because it's all hills around there. Improve a mine, that's an error score for improving volcano destroyed tile. Where are you going? Let's kill the scout. And what else are we working here? I could improve that quarry if I would like to. But maybe I will send this builder towards my freshly settled city to improve some land in there. I will retreat the scout and fortify on defensive terrain on a hill. Any hill or forest is gonna provide you with extra defensive bonuses, so if this warrior attacks me, I have pretty good chance to actually kill him, or for him to kill himself into my scout. Let's check this side where that scout came from. However, I could actually improve this quarry to at least get myself a boost towards masonry. Because even though I'm gonna get a lot of science, getting 40% boosts is like what, 35 science? Is 35 science for building a quarry. It's still a nice stat. Some error score for settling new continent. And I don't have to build a monument in here where I would like to get a campus. That's a +4 campus. Absolutely getting it. That's beautiful. Start working on that campus immediately. Here comes another settler. This is gonna be my silk settler. And my slinger can start going north. Masonry has been boosted, that's 40 science, and my city is working even more productive tile. Although in future I would like to chop it anyway, because there is potential to maybe make something like a bath, industrial zone, VAV complex, because aqueducts and dams and canals provide +2 adjacency for industrial zones, and they do need those for my capital, because science victory requires both production and science. Science to research the late game technology like rocketry, however it is a very expensive building which requires a lot of production, so having those industrial zones would be necessary. Although I could actually maybe just plug industrial zone in here, that would be a +6, and since I have a lot of hills, I could be looking for a Ruhr Valley. To remember, wonders is not necessary. You can absolutely win the game without building wonders. However, if you're going for the science victory, you're likely going through the top tree, and at some point you will encounter industrialization. And you will see a wonder named Ruhr Valley that gives 20% production in the city and +1 production for each mine and quarry in the territory. But it has to be built along the river adjacent to an industrial zone district with factory. So I would have to build Ruhr Valley somewhere here, and it provide my capital with extra production on all the hill tiles, all the mines that I have, and I have a lot of them, as well as 20% production flat. And now, since the early game, like, you don't have to plan it as much as I do. You're gonna come across and you're gonna make concessions. It's gonna be less optimal gameplay, but it's gonna be a gameplay nonetheless, and you're still gonna be in a very winnable position. So it doesn't even matter as much. However, I would like to replace a position for my spaceport, especially in a game like this where I don't have all that much flat tiles. I do have 2 tiles near the volcano, but it's in the name, it's near the volcano. I don't want my spaceport to be pillaged by a volcano and to repair that every other turn or something, depending on how frequent the eruptions are. Yeah, that's not something that I would be looking forward to. And what else I would like to build in my capital? Because I will absolutely need the government plaza somewhere. So where am I getting it? I see 2 cities that won't necessarily have access towards mountains. So maybe I could plug in my government plaza in one of my freshly settled cities to have a set of maybe like campus, and the rest of it I can surround by maybe commercial hubs or maybe industrial zones or something. I think that would be nice. However, that would require me to also research iron, and I will do that after I discover animal husbandry. Because. When I discover iron, I can start chopping rainforest tiles. Other than that, I wouldn't be able to place the government plaza building. Generally, I would like that to get that in the capital city, but since I'm going for science victory, and I'm a little bit optimizing, like, you don't have to play like me, that's the best part about it. It doesn't matter which civ you play, what kind of map you get, you still can work towards the general direction like I do, and maybe you're gonna get government plaza in the capital. You could be less greedy like me and get a government plaza right next to the city center, and if you're gonna place city like I did, you could have another juicy campus. Like, both of these campuses would be really sick. +10 science just having them next to a government plaza. However, I am not gonna do that. My strategy here is gonna be to grow my capital as much as possible through the trade routes or otherwise, provided with as much housing as I can get, and let my other cities worry about other infrastructure. I'm just gonna have the most basic districts that I need, and everything else is gonna be a mine for that Ruhr Valley. In science game, I'm very confident that I will be able to get the Ruhr Valley, because first of all, I'm gonna be going straight towards it. Secondly, since I am focused on science, it's not unrealistic that I will have most science in the whole game. Right now I am a little bit behind, but I don't have a single district place, so that's reasonable. And Sumeria started making great scientist points as well as someone else, which is fine. I don't have to rush anywhere. I need to catch up. I'm already behind the AI. AI are cheaters. They have 30% more stats than me since the start of the game, culture, science, faith, you name it. And I have to catch up. That's the hardest part about AI, and that's the most exciting one. I like it. So I can have city here, which is fine. The city can keep moving. And what else would I like to improve in the area? I do have a horse style. That would be nice improvement. Caguana, can you move your warriors? I don't want my scout to die. Can you survive? Let's flip it. Maybe he can. In my scout I trust. This scout can get its ass whooped as well, so I'm gonna park it defensively. Maybe this warrior can die to my scout as well. So yeah, my scout is still winning. Now I'm gonna go ahead and explore that side of the land towards my east. Caguana doesn't want to move, so I will have to go around it. And I will fortify until healed. I'm in no hurry. Although it sucks that I am not getting the information from my scouts. Korea. It always has to be Korea. So when I said that I can catch up to AI in terms of technology and I should be leading in it, well, I just got myself a massive competitor. Korea is one of the best science states or civilizations in the game. This city, I have a lot of gold, so maybe I can purchase myself a trader to trade with the capital. And let's declare friendship with Genghis, since he wants to be friends with me. I don't mind. Mongolia is relatively warlike city-state, as if it's not given by the name Genghis. And I don't want to place a campus, maybe invest one turn in the builder, but this city generally is gonna build me that government plaza.
It is equally important.
My scout died. That sucks. Well, I could get Envoy with Vilnius, I could get Envoy with Nalanda, but I think much more important for me is to trade with Rome, so the city grows faster and gets more productive. I got myself a very nice tile to work, as well as access to horse resource. Even if I'm not gonna use it, I still might sell that to the AI for extra income. And now I could change my government a little bit. So for now, I guess let's plug in urban planning until I finish this campus district. And the next thing I can research, I will get political philosophy in 6th turn, and then I will start building more settlers. How much does it cost? 65 gold. I would like to take these tiles from Vilnius. These tiles are very juicy for my empire, for Ostia city, to make it productive without actually improving any tiles. And here is my first campus. A little bit of extra era score. Let's... should I start working towards the settler? Actually, I can put in 2 turns into library before I will change my political philosophy. Start beating the spearmen. Here is my political philosophy, and I have discovered iron. What am I going to get? Maybe a classical republic for more housing and great people points. I think that's reasonable. Let's do it. Now I can plug in the settler card. I can plug in a diplomatic leader to get 2 envoys into Nalanda with 1. 2 for 1. And do I want any militaristic? For now, let's plug in discipline because I'm fighting some barbarians. I think it's pretty balanced government, and let's send my scout to sneak that barbarian outpost. Do I have any iron in my lands? I will have access to it in the future, but not yet. Not yet. Okay, fair enough, but one thing that I do have is this government plaza tile, which I'm gonna start building immediately. Next thing to research. I will go towards currency and start moving towards education because that's my university's upgrade. And my friendship with Gilgabro has expired. Let's fix that mistake, that misunderstanding. We can change open borders. He's gonna pay me 3 gold per turn. Very nice. And what I would like to research. Would I like to get myself a Coliseum? Maybe not, I don't have that many flat tiles, maybe in the future, maybe some of my cities are gonna be productive enough and AI is not gonna get it. I don't know, but I am not interested in building wonders just yet. So if I'm not building wonders, what am I going to build? I'm gonna build more builders, I'm gonna build more settlers to expand my empire. So for that I would like to go towards feudalism, so that my newly trained builders gain 2 extra build actions. I think that's great improvement, and instead of finishing this library, I will start getting myself more settlers. Ancient Era ends in 4 turns. Can I get more gold? Gilgamesh is gonna pay me a little bit. Where is Genghis? Maybe Genghis wants open borders and wants to give me money. 2 gold per turn. Very nice. I have 14 gold per turn, and half of it is coming from the trade deals. Beautiful. Let's marinate this barbarian outpost. Okay, let's kill barbarian. Come on, scout. Now don't die to that warrior. Ooh, look at this campus. That's straight up +5. Oh. Doesn't even need government plaza. I like it. That's a juicer. My scout has a promotion available. Let's set my slinger to heal. My warrior is counted doing scout's work now. I see someone's borders near Vilnius. I don't think I have met that person, unless that's Gilgabro. Can it be? No, I have open borders with Gilgabro, so that's a different civilization. Kinda think it, so maybe Eleanor or something? We'll see. Ancient Era ends in 1 turn. I've discovered Singapore. Let's beat this warrior and my scout can get Alpine promotion. Let's put that envoy to Nalanda to get 2. And start getting hold of it. Trade route would make me suzerain of it. Aha, and I wanted to check Great People's Grain. So, in few turns someone is gonna get Great Scientist, and Sumeria is gonna get the next one, and Korea is competing for that. Damn. Okay, so I probably won't see a Hypatia. It's probably out of my reach, and this is the golden age. Let's deal with that warrior. He's dead. My slinger can heal up. Other than that, I like the little setup that we have made so far. Very juicy campuses are coming up online. A government plaza to enable a few of my other cities to have higher adjacency campuses than basically no adjacency campuses, right? But anyway, I think I will end the episode here, so thank you guys very much for watching. One love, I'm out.